Hey everybody, welcome back. Junk's Automotive. I'm glad you came back to hang out again. Taking the body off this vintage old MGA again. Putting that engine and transmission right in them frame rails. See how far we get. We're going to hear this thing run. Maybe not this video, but really soon after. Thanks again. And I'm tired already. So, believe it or not, I have a plan. Some big old 1/4 inch 3/8 rope. Now, I've done this before, so settle down. I've got this. Then we get this set up with the engine crane. Then we'll just pick her up nice and gently and move stuff around. Now, disclaimer. If you in fact have friends that live nearby, get 3 or 4 of them to come help you just do this. I have friends, they don't live here. It's 9 o'clock on a Thursday night. They're not going to come help me do this. Old Dad don't have the time. I've got to figure out how to do it by myself. So let me get set up and I'll show you what I'm doing. Alright? Sit tight. Okay. Well, let's get a big old panty view here. Panty view. Well, you know, pan. Okay. Sorry, Mom. Anyhow, like I said, I've got her tensioned up a little bit. What I'm going to do is start lifting. And, you know, if one end feels heavier than the other, I'll use a ratchet strap on the front or the back. Now again, this was a Volkswagen, some kind of small bodied car like this, you can do this. You know, take your time, pay attention to what you're doing. You know, it's a little different than that deal. It's step by step and blocks and jacks and, you know, lots of extra stuff. This is quite a bit easier. So these little small model cars, it's just like building a model, you know, just a little bit bigger. Cars like this, there's no roof, there's no rigidity. That's why the windshield's still on it, to kind of help things from go bark, bark, you know, believe it or not. And you want to leave the doors on. The reason is, all there is a rocker panel. You don't want this thing to go, you know, otherwise you'd have to weld some supports in it to keep it from doing all that. The doors are bungee corded in. And what I did early on is put some wooden wedges in there to take up that gap between that door. The hinges aren't going to move, so you know, this body is going to be solid. We pick it up nice and straight. So let me set you up and we'll see how this goes. I plan on putting it on a couple of 55-gallon drums, and the reason for that is to save my jack stands. And it's like, instead of way down here, it's going to be way up here. Then I can jack up with the good old cherry picker here, like the front half, move the barrel out, scrub up and redo and paint the bottom of the front half, and swap around and do the paint on the back half underneath, because that's the plan. Alright, I'll just show you. Well, it looks a little crooked from here, so I'm going to go that way just a little. See what happens. That rope likes to stretch. Use good rope. think the back kind of hooks. Like I told you. I really don't want to hook on that back because there's not much structure. The front there is. So we're going to kind of deal with it the way it is if we can. Alright, well, I'm going to try to roll this back. I might nudge that rear end a little bit. Move that chassis back so the rear end sits on it instead of catching behind it. Easy there, honey. What I need to do is get it up enough that I can pull the chassis out and then spin around, right? We'll come back just a little bit more. You heard that honk? The truckers even like what I'm doing. I wish I could get YouTube to like what I'm doing. Alright. Safety strap. I know this seems a little long-winded for you guys. But if you want to know what it's really like to do stuff like this, a lot of you do, no doubt. But there's some of you that don't. I like to get my strap. There we go. I'll just grab, there's a gas tank hole over here. hold the weight. I don't want to bend that. But we got to come back just a little bit farther. Alright, that'll work. We get over here around some of this junk. Push this chassis out. Well, it rolls nice and easy. So what I'm going to do now is spin this thing around. Actually, couple jack stands on the trunk pan. So I get that whole thing readjusted. Let me see if you guys can see. It is pretty important. Man, my hot dollar camera stand, tripod, doesn't really tripod much. Wanting to recenter this back. And the only way to do that is get the weight off this stupid thing. And I'm not real sure how to do that, but we'll get it figured out. Extra jack stands are handy. There we go. If I don't get this straighter, it's going to be a little tough to put them on a couple of 55-gallon drums, ain't it? Well, I believe the Alzheimer's kicking in because now I'm remembering. I need to be on this side of the knots. It's only been a year since I've done this. Actually, there we go. Let's try that. That's probably going to be fine, I guess. Let's try that. Alright. Get the stupid jacket stands out of the way. And we're spinning around with any luck. I'm going to leave her low. That way, you know, the crashing ain't so devastating. Alright. Hold on there, honey. I think my rope slipped. Let me see if I can slip it back. Nope. Just try it that way. It's not like it doesn't need body work. Alright, well, That'll be all right. All right. Let me get my 55-gallon drums and get set up. Woo! I gotta pee. Right. Got myself reset, got my drums. I just let the car down nice and slowly and reset it towards the back. Because, you know, you learn from your mistakes. At least I try to. And then I forget them a year later, and then I have to redo it. Like in this case. Now let's see what happens. That's a little forward heavy, but that's okay. Gotta get as tall as those 55-gallon drums, I hope. Alright, I think the front's lower, so I'm going to start with the front. Let me push this thing in just a little bit. We're starved for space around here. We can't mess around. Alright. Big old piece of angle iron to go across the front. Very much up there. Nope. Gotta go higher. That's about all I got. Hopefully I can heave ho on the front of it to get my rebar in there. Alright, I'm going to get underneath it. Don't do this at home. Well, now I've got to shim the back so it's kind of level, you know. Let's see what we can do there. Well, let's let her down slow, see what happens. I think that was just the can. Yep. See if I can show you what's going on here. Well, this appears to be okay. Huh? That piece of angle iron is bowed a little bit. It's pretty strong. I'm guessing I need something a little bit more. We go find a piece of 2x6 or a piece of fence post, stick in there. Alright, be right back. Okay, well, lots of room for activities. Seems fine, you know. Found me a piece of pipe. It's a piece of chrome pipe. Piece of an old bed top side rail from a pickup truck. And I grabbed them because I've used them before for scavenger pipes. I just thought they were neat. And so, you know, it's like these barrels and that, you know, the crap you hold on to. You never know when you're going to need it. Anyway, I'm pretty tired. I'll leave that there loosely for safety reasons, I guess, overnight. If it stays there, well, no, well, good. And like I said, I want to do this back half. I'll raise it up with that, and I'll trust me. We'll use some safety devices, harness thing. We'll do the back half. Put that back when it's dried. And then do the front half, do the same thing. It'll be fine. Anyway, I gotta work tomorrow, the real job. So let me roll that thing back in here for now. Temporary light, move some stuff back around so I can close that door. And I'll see you guys probably tomorrow night for a little bit. Peace. Alright, well, got the junk hauler hooked up so I can bring home some tools and, you know, put them somewhere. We'll worry about that later. So, before I forget, tell you guys, man, that sun is bright, but damn, I look good. Anyhow, we do have a joke sponsor this week. I'm really excited. It's a really good friend of mine. His name is Chris Wolf. You've probably never heard of him. Great musician. If you ever heard him, you bet you probably never have. Funny guy. He's one of the kings of dad jokes. Hopefully we'll get the other king involved here at some point. So anyway, have a laugh. We'll see you in a second. Roll that film, James.
I was walking home from the bar the other night and the cop stopped me. Said, "I need to see some ID." I said, "What's this all about, officer?" He said, "Son, you're staggering." I said, "Well, you're pretty attractive too, officer. Don't drink and drive."
That was Chris Wolf, everybody. I'll try to learn how to put the link up here somewhere to Chris's stuff. He's here on YouTube, and I'd like to give him a shout out. Go check him out. A lot of funny songs, a lot of good songs. He's one of my favorite people in the world. Love him to death. If you didn't see a link pop up here, I mean, I didn't learn how to do it yet. But if you look in the description, I'll ping him on there, or however whatever it's called. He'll be there. Got this thing sat in here. Let's get a couple bolts in, and I might not even show you that. Well, I may not do the bolts, but I'll show you, if that makes any sense. Yo, next day, Saturday, I worked today. It's a real job thing, I don't know. Did get the old toolbox in here. Did a little straightening around, cleaning up. I swept the floor, believe it or not. Seems like every time I do videos, now I have company. But I'm sure glad that you guys are here. Hey, I cleaned up, right? Help a guy out, give me a like. Anyhow, where we left off, of course I had to push this out of the way, back the trailer up, get the toolbox clean, roll this back in. Yeah, this is good thing this is a small car. I was by myself. Anyway, so now we got 1, 2, 3, 4 nuts and bolts. Alright, apparently there's nothing here. So we'll use some nice grade 8 hardware, lock washers, and of course, Loctite. Same on the other side. So let me get that done. And we'll get to looking at a couple starters. I got one here that the big Bendix just is totally froze. Probably a good part starter. This one here, it turns, So hopefully we can end this video if I find a couple starter bolts. I have that little red thing spinny. Alright, well, 2 starters. This one's froze up, don't turn. This one turns really nice. I'm a little worried because the little cover that covers the brushes, it was loose and just slid right off. And I thought, well, somebody's looking in there, figure out what was going on. The way we know Ralph Sr., something's going on with this starter. But anyway, jumper cables, positive. On the positive, which would normally be the ground, because this car is backwards earth, positive ground. So we're going to find out if we actually switch things around, does everything turn backwards? I don't think so. I've got a battery down here on the floor, down here. You can't see it, it's under the table, right? If you're going to do stuff like this, bench testing starters, don't hook it up here and make your spark at the battery. Don't do it. If there's any gas coming out of that battery and you just got it off a hot charge, it will blow up in your face. I have seen it. I'm telling you. So, now I'm off my soapbox. Lecture time's over. Let's see what this starter will do. Let me... You ready? Nothing. Hold on. Well, it's enough for me. Bolt it on the car, see if it turns her over, you know. Give me a minute. All right, so after much tribulation, if that's a word. Is that a word, Scuba?
Say it again.
Tribulation.
I'm not sure.
I don't think it's a word.
I don't. Well, we'll just use it.
After a lot of digging, I found a couple bolts that aren't right. So that means I didn't find bolts, but I got bolts. So let's see what it does, right? So I'm not gonna let it turn over too much. And that battery's probably a little weak and this motor's a little bit tight. And there's not a whole lot of oil in it, if really any. I bet. Here. It means it's got compression. Well, we'll not take the plugs out. It'll turn over faster, obviously. But it turns over. Let's do it again. Oh, put that back on.
Oh, yeah. Try now.
All right, disconnect. There we go. Turns over. So there. Where's the... Right on. Scuba, you want to dance?
No.
No.
No, we'll save that for later.
Well, I got some of you dancing. I'm going to stick it in there later.
Oh, God, are you serious?
Like right about now.